Hello everyone, it's your girl B Nicole and I am back with another live, and I'm so pumped about tonight's topic of discussion because I am going into 7 games that boys play when it comes to, I would say, the talking or dating phase. And I really shirt y'all says sarcasm, it's what I do best. But nothing that I'm about to talk about tonight is me being sarcastic. These are real life experiences that I have personally dealt with. Okay? All right. So, 7 games, okay, that boys play, right? So, I know that there's some guys in here, so thank you all for joining. Oh, Grant, come on in the room. So, I know that there's some guys in here, and I hope that you all will chime in as well. And I know that I'm about to give out some of your secrets, but I want us ladies to elevate and to be educated and to not get played as we close out 2020, because sometimes when you are sometimes when you are dating or talking to someone, they honestly can serve as a distraction when their efforts aren't matching their words. Okay, so let's just go in here. So, 7 things that lead to wasting your time. And I'm talking about boys, the games that boys play. So, really, if you find yourself talking to or dating one of these people, go ahead and give him the boot, cut him off, because sis, he is wasting your time. And that's really not anything against you. It just simply says that he's not ready for commitment, and he has no desire or plans to commit to you, right? Number 1. If a guy only uses his social media as the form of communication, sis, he is about to waste your time. I think DMs are cute. So I don't really have, my DMs aren't popping. But what's up, J. Cole? Come on in. I think DMs, of course, they're cute. But if a guy doesn't attempt to take it any further, then that means he doesn't plan to take what you all have any further. So if he's simply reaching out to you through direct message or, private message, Facebook Messenger, then that's it. Don't read into those messages. If he hasn't asked for your number or attempted to have conversation with you over the phone, then he ain't it. So yeah, go ahead and give him the boot. Also, if a guy is liking your posts or engaging with your stories, don't read too far into that either. He may really just enjoy the content, or he may just like having a little inside scoop on your day-to-day activities. But if he doesn't take it any further, then yeah, he ain't trying to be with you or commit to you. Or if he is trying to sell you a dream, don't fall for it. Don't fall for the okie doke. Guys that want to be with you will maybe jump into your DMs and start there, but they're going to take you elsewhere, okay? And that's a fact. Again, DMs are cute, but don't fall for the trap. So if a guy is only using social media as his only way to communicate with you, then he's about to waste your time. All right. What's up, Levin? Come on in. Okay. Number 2, if a guy is being inconsistent consistently, he is about to waste your time. Okay. So know that actions will always speak, okay? Actions, hello gorgeous. Actions will always speak. Your job is to watch and listen. Watch and listen. And when things don't add up, you're not crazy. And I would also say pay attention to the fact that notice that he knows how to be consistent at something. So the fact that he's choosing to be consistent at being inconsistent is such a waste of your time. So if he is falling into that category, he gotta go. All right, number 3, okay? Leslie, see what I'm talking about? You totally get it. Okay, number 3, if a guy is applying more excuses than effort, he is about to waste your time, or he is already wasting your time. So what I put down here is that obviously he doesn't value your time. I don't honestly understand why a guy would recognize that you have standards and muster up the courage to approach you and I would say pursue you to simply fumble the ball in the end. So recognize that, like, I would say, like, for myself personally, like, I have standards, and I think that some guys would say that it's a little bit harder to, I would say, approach me or ask me out, just because it seems like I have a wall up. And so if you are not at a certain level, I may not entertain even the conversation. But if I give you a chance, the thing that you would not want to do is fumble the ball. Because the likelihood that I will give a second chance to you is slim to none. So if he's applying more excuses than effort, cut. Okay. Another thing that I wrote is, honestly, ladies, you may want to have a no excuse policy in place just in case. Because I think guys, or at least boys that play games, they're very comfortable. They fumble every time, literally every single time. It's always the guys that you don't expect to fumble. But what I'm learning is expectations literally lead to disappointments. And I think, Leslie, that's one of your statements. But literally every single time, it's like, why did you even interrupt my flow? Like, why bother? I also put down here that boys will freely give what has worked in the past. So if you continue to allow a guy to give you excuses, then he will continue to provide that which you settle for. So if you're tired of his excuses, then stop taking them. Okay, number 4, and then I'm going to go back through because I see we got some people that are joining, which is exciting. Okay, number 4. If a guy is dribbling around with the plans and ideas, he is about to waste your time. So when I say that, I mean, like, if he throws out the idea of a date, or throws out, there's this new movie being released at the theater, or whatever the case may be, and he simply doesn't pull you into the plans or the ideas, sis, that is not an opportunity for you to then plug yourself into his plan. So if he wants to take you out to eat or take you on a date, then he should simply just ask and be direct with what he's asking. But if you find that he's just dribbling around with the idea, but he never actually asks you directly, don't waste your time, sis, because I can guarantee that he is about to waste your time. I also said entertain concrete plans only. So unless a guy concretely asks you out and gives you the time, the place, and what that whole, shindig is going to look like, that is when you entertain it. If it's just an idea being thrown around, because I literally was talking to this guy, and again, I'm talking from all this about personal experiences. So everything that I'm going to talk about, a guy has attempted to play me with. But I was talking to a guy, and it was a long distance thing. And so I was like, he was like, I can't wait to see you again. And I was like, yeah, same here. And I was like, would it be better? And I messed up, and I inserted myself right into his dribble of a plan. And I was like, you think it'd be better, for you to come or for me to come this go around? And it was his response that reminded me, sis, he did not invite you to come see him. He literally just wanted you to know that it would be nice to see you. Not that he was trying to see you. And sometimes, ladies, we just need to listen. And listen to fully comprehend that which is being stated, not always listening to respond. So again, I'm going to be open and honest and share, of course, some of my wins and losses in the games that have been played, but I just want to educate the ladies on tonight. Okay, so number 5, and I know y'all are going to love this one, but if he is trying to make the bare minimum look and sound good, sis, he's about to waste your time. And I almost didn't put this one in here, but What I mean by that is, of course, a guy, like, he knows. So guys that want to commit know what it takes to do so. But for a guy that's simply just looking for entertainment or a little fun, he may very well present to you the bare minimum. And these guys are typically, they're like professionals. So they do this all the time. They typically have a few options that they can play games with. So him making the bare minimum look and sound good. What's up, Lily? Him making the bare minimum look and sound good is something that he does all the time, okay? And what I mean by that is, I think there was a conversation on Twitter about a guy who was going to take a female, like, on a date, but his idea of the date was going to the park and, you know, doing the walk at the park and, you know, that being a vibe. And I personally, I love park dates. I'm a park girl, so that would definitely be something I would be interested in doing. The issue is that he didn't want to pay out any money. So, like, there was going to be no meal attached to this date. And I don't know what it is about why guys think that the meal is not included. I don't know, ladies. Help me understand. Are you open to going on dates that don't actually cost anything? And it's not really about the money, because the woman that you should be attempting to date and take off the market probably has her own. So help me understand, ladies. Let me know in the comments. Are you all open to going on the dates that don't necessarily cost anything? Or does it just depend on at what level you're dating this person? Dates without spending money, Leslie, stop. Maybe once. Yeah, I would say the dates without spending money. So I can understand if a guy is simply just trying to, of course, gauge interest. So he's just trying to, like, figure out if this is going to be a go or a no. But at some point, like, I like to eat. I do. I like to eat. And if our date doesn't include a meal, I may not call it a date. So it may be referred to as an outing. And honestly, outings don't really count. So, but I think boys that play games, like, they're all about, I guess, trying to humble you. But at the end of the day, you may get humbled because I may not entertain you any further. I mean, what we doing at the park besides just walking around, enjoying the view? Again, I'm a park girl. I've been on park dates. I love park outings. That's such a vibe for me. But I still want to eat. And I don't want to be, like, of course, petty, but I do want to, like, share personal experiences in saying that I went on a park date and it wasn't an issue. I don't think it was an issue, of course, for us to go eat. It just wasn't initially on the agenda. And I guess by me imposing that I wanted, because he was like, what do you want to do now? I was like, I'd love to go eat here, because I hadn't been in the area in a while. And so I was like, I really want to go eat here, and I really want to go eat at this restaurant. And so there was just seemed to be a miscommunication on, like, simply who was going to pay. So I would just say that if you are going to take someone on a date, you may just want to have the funds and maybe some extra funds just in case anything pops up on the radar. Because maybe there's food trucks at the park. So think about how ideal it would be to make a little loop around the track and then, of course, go ahead and grab a bite to eat. And it's right there at the park. You don't even have to leave. You don't have to go anywhere fancy. It's real simple. I think sometimes guys try to put, like, overanalyze dates. Most females are pretty simple. But don't try us. Like, don't try to make the bare minimum look and sound good, because there's standards and there's levels to it all. Okay? So just be mindful, ladies, that there are guys out here that will make the bare minimum. And I do mean, like, bottom of the barrel minimum look and sound good, because they're professionals. Effort is. So, y'all, I went out to eat one time. Let me say all this and I'm going to move on to number 6. But there was a time that I had been to the movies with this guy, and he literally paid for everything. So the movies was our first date. He paid for the movies. He paid for the movies. He paid for the snacks. I mean, paid for the whole 9 yards. And I was like, okay, because I really hadn't been on very many dates where guys weren't like looking for me to pay for. So he bought the tickets and then took care of everything there. So that was like pretty ideal. So later on, that week, he was like, we should go and grab a bite. We should go grab a bite to eat. And I was like, yeah, we should. He's like, let's do lunch. And I'm like, okay, I'm so down. So anyways, he got to the restaurant before I did. So he was waiting on me. I literally get there, we order the food, and the waiter comes and of course takes our order. We put it in, like everything's good, conversation's good. He's still being a gentleman until the check came. So remember, he was waiting on me for a little while because I was working, trying to get off for lunch, okay? So when the lady brought the check, she put ours together, and he literally applied effort in bringing her back over to the table and said, I'm gonna need you to take this part off. Now, just luckily, I had my own coins, but like, how embarrassing. So literally, like, that was it. That was our, I guess, second date. And it wasn't because he didn't pay. It was simply because literally you asked me to come have lunch with you, and then my meal got put on your ticket, and you were honestly so disturbed that you were like, ma'am. I was like, not really sure what was going on. And literally, y'all, I paid for my own meal that day. Whew, tragic. And it's weird because, like I said, the first date, he paid for literally everything. So I don't know, y'all. Boys are weird, okay? Boys are really weird. Okay, number 6. There are boys out here that will choose to study you before they approach you with no intent of actually wanting to be with you, okay? Now, most guys are going to study the individual that they're about to pursue. So most guys are going to start paying attention to like some of your interests or things that you enjoy or like or speak on through social media. You just want to be careful about the guys that are doing so with no intent of wanting to be with you, simply to stroke their ego or to tell the crew that they got your number or that they took you here or whatever the case is. I don't know guy talk, but know that the guys do talk. And most of the time, these guys right here, the way that you'll know that he's wasting your time is because everything comes with a pause and then this deep philosophical response. Sis, run. He's wasting your time, and he has no intent of ever acting on anything that he just stated, because he is simply trying to, I guess, feel good in the moment or be able to add you to his little black book. And of course not sexually. Yeah, no. Number 7, and then I'm going to go back through and hopefully you all have some questions or have some more topics or things that we can cover. Number 7, showing up. There are guys, boys, that will show up when it's not that big of a deal to only excuse themselves from showing up when it really matters most. Okay? There are guys, boys that play games, that will show up when it's not that big of a deal, to only excuse themselves from showing up when it really matters. So a lot of people are going to say, but they showed up. Well, that's the least he could do, right? I mean, that's the bare minimum. So I would just say that if there are things that you are involved with, so like me personally, I blog, and I have YouTube, and I just have other things. I have had guys, honestly, that I talk to date. They have tuned into my lives, and they have liked all my posts on Instagram, and they have watched my YouTube videos and sent me some commentary after the fact. And that's really cute, but that's all being done behind closed doors, and within the privacy of his home. But if a guy can actually show up and out to support you, so if you're a speaker or if you're a teacher, if you're a business owner, and the guy never applies any effort to supporting you or encouraging you with your business, or whatever your it is, then just know, sis, women play games too. Women can definitely play a game or two, but this live is about boys who play games. So know that there are boys that will show up when it's really not that big of a deal just to excuse themselves. So you just want to be mindful of those guys because yes, they too are about to waste your time, sis. I put down here that part-time support is just that, part-time, and you know that most of the time part-time doesn't get benefit, they don't qualify. So just keep that in mind as someone who is only willing to apply effort and support to you on a part-time basis. Okay, let me wink again. Good. All right, glad y'all got that. The other thing I put is that does a guy ever bring up ways to support you or to add to what you're doing? If not, then does he even know? And does he care? So a guy that is actually interested in you, he's going to want to know more about you and what it is that you're so passionate about. And if he hasn't asked or he hasn't applied any effort into figuring that part of you out, then cut. I also put that if it's a big deal to you, it should be a big deal to the person that you're with. And again, that's when you're actually in a relationship, committed relationship with someone. But if honestly, while you're talking or dating, they seem to knock down your dreams or your goals, then sis, he ain't it. Be smart. As a matter of fact, outsmart them. And if you have standards, hold your standards high. A guy that wants to be with you, even if he isn't ready, so to speak, because that's a great line that most of these boys will use, the guy will get ready because he's that serious about you. And let me also say this, and I'll end here. Any guy that will say, I just need to figure things out, but he wants to do that with some space or without you in the picture, he ain't it either. Because no guy in his right mind is going to risk losing the one that he really wants to be with. So y'all keep all this in mind. I'll take, again, my shirt says sarcasm. It's what I do best, but nothing that I said tonight was sarcastic.